This meeting is being recorded.
All right, good morning, everyone. Appreciate everyone being here today. I will share my screen. We are going to talk today. This was a presentation that I had done and I tweaked it a little bit that I wanted to share with you guys so you guys can kind of continue with some different themes here. New slide. I want slideshow from beginning. All right. Developing relationships with apps and technology. Now, this is one of my very, very favorite pictures that I found years and years ago. Okay. Here we are with our cell phones. And this is probably like 7 or 8 years ago, too, because I can just look at some of these iPhone versions are like iPhone 4s, I think, sitting here. So, I mean, this little lady is just like, I don't really care about the world. I'm just going to enjoy my life. And it was like some parade. And so I just love that where she's just sitting there, just enjoying that. But 44% of cell phone users sleep with their phones. Can you believe that? My daughter does. It drives me nuts because she just sleeps it right next to her head. And I'm thinking, you're going to get some kind of crazy, some vibe going on or something like that. But, over 50% of web users search on their mobile devices today, and 80% of any time is just spent on their mobile device looking at things. So do you guys find yourself kind of like on your phones more than your computers now? Yep. So anybody have an Apple Watch? I was going to buy one this week. So I'm kind of curious because my kids keep telling me I need to, because I always carry this with me. And now she said, you like when you're like on vacation and I can like go swimming or something, and I don't have to bring my phone down to the pool because I can have my watch. So I figured I'd go a little bit more techie on that. So, sometimes I like this is that, in the method of real estate is that, we spray or we pray method. Are we praying for business? Or are we going to spray and try to find business? And so we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. I would recommend anytime that you have pictures or selling a home, get some kind of a sold photo with them. My new picture or my new one is actually I changed it just to be a little bit better, because if somebody sees this picture up here, that's great. But now my new one actually says sold house or bought a home or sold a home with Eric Hatch, and then my little logo. So put your name in your sign. And so that way, if they go, because you'll be there all the time, they'll say, hey, send me that picture, please, to the front porch. Hey, send me that picture. I'm going to send it to my mom or whatever. And you send it. And so now it's branded that they actually have Eric Hatch or Tim on it. So if you get a little sign, go get one made. Phyllis can make them here in the office, and they can just make a little sign said sold, and another home sold. I think they're actually in my trunk. Another home sold or purchased, purchased my first home with Eric Hatch or something like that. So get something like that. Is a tip there. So I wanted to share this a little bit. There's 3 business that we've discussed this a little bit, but I want to make sure that you guys have some kind of systems in place for your before business, your during, and your after business. And so segregate or separate that a little bit and understand. So what would be something that you guys are doing before you actually find a client? What's your before business look like right now?
Prospecting. So sending out postcards, Facebook ads, things like that.
So here's a before. So then Sarah, you've got somebody who all of a sudden Allie comes to you and says, I want to buy, I saw your ad. Now, where does that person go to? She goes from a before, but now she's now a during. So now you have marketing approaches that you're during the process. So now you're taking Allie through the process and helping her find homes, sticking her on an MLS search. Do you guys use the actual MLS search and put people on the search in the MLS? Okay, that's good. So that's a free tool. Obviously, we have it. Go for it. So when you get into the CRM kind of life, if you find the right CRM that you like, the client retention management system, some of those CRMs have the component of sending the listings through there. And so I kind of like that, because then I'm completely in control of my CRM. Tells me who actually searching on the homes and who's looking at them. And when there's something that gets dripped to them, or they actually open something, that it immediately sends them a text or an email saying, hey, I just saw that you opened up this home. Is there any questions you have on it? And so you're engaging them. So then let's say Allie buys this $10 million property from Sarah, and Sarah's super excited. Sarah goes off and doesn't work for like 3 months because she's got all this money in the world with this huge sale. And then Sarah spends it all and then freaks out because now she's poorer and then poorer. So that's just what happens in real estate, guys. So then Allie buys a home from Sarah. Now what are we going to do with Sarah? What are we going to do with Allie? Now she becomes in your after. Too many people, as I mentioned last week with Clark, when I asked him where all his 50 people are, and they go, they're in my emails. So he has nothing set for the after business. And this is where we want to discuss that. This is where you're going to get most of your buyers and sellers after, you know, the close of the sale. And you saw my numbers last week. There was, I don't know, 36 or something solds, I believe, or people that I got my transactions last year on my SOI. And that is, you know, that is something that you guys are building. So if I retired today and I went back and looked at my last 3, 4, 5 years, and I said, okay, guys, I'm going to open this up to all 3 of you. Who wants to buy my business? Most agents just retire and leave. They just leave. They just go, okay, I'm retiring. I'm done. Occasionally, I did see an agent yesterday. I haven't seen her for 2 years. She was in our office, and I didn't know she was even, I know she still lives here, but she retired, but she showed up with 2 people yesterday. Maybe some clients, maybe somebody, probably her after clients, because she's not taking anybody new. But at the same time is that most people just retire and leave, and there goes their business. Now, if you built a business and Allie has, or Sarah, whatever you guys did, Tim, before you got into real estate, and if you built some personal business, you would hope that you were going to build something that you could sell. And I don't know, have any of you guys ever sold a business before? Anybody ever create? So Sarah, you've got one. So all the years and years of building this business, you would hope that it's worth something when you're done, you know, and sometimes you're surprised. You think it's worth way more than somebody's willing to pay, but you know, you're doing that. So what I'm just suggesting, if I give all 3 of you an opportunity and say, guys, how much do you want? If I could show my proven books that there was 36 sales last year that came from my SOI, and like 30 the year before and 30 the year before, and if I could say, what value do you guys see on that? If I could then sell that book of business and say, I'm out, I'm retiring, who wants to take on my business? And look at the numbers and go, wow, it's 36 homes or 30 homes or 20 homes or 10 homes, but there's a guaranteed sales in there that you have that somebody could then sell. I could sell my business. But if I don't have anything going in my business for the after, which we're going to talk about these 3 today, and I'm not working them, I'm not talking to them, and I'm not reaching out to them. As I shared with you, I've got the girls now are putting my people on my CRM system and my task list. So I'm just calling. And then once I speak to somebody on my list, you immediately put another task, whether it's next week, 2 months, 1 year, I wouldn't go that long, but every quarter I should be talking to my people, inviting them to parties, sending them emails, and discussing, you know, what else I can help them with, and, you know, in their basic needs. You know, I just sent a picture of a pool and said, hey, I finally got my pool because my client in El Dorado Hills wanted to build a pool. So I said, hey, here's a picture of my pool. And then she just texts me back and says, hey, I'm really bummed because El Dorado County is not allowing us to put a pool in because of water shortage. So she goes, we might be putting our house on the market, Eric, because we want to buy a house with a pool. I felt horrible as an agent because, you know, I've heard of that in the past, but at the same time, it's like, you know, they could have like sued me and said, hey, you said we could put a pool in and now we can't put a pool in. They probably wouldn't go that far. But at the same time, if I hadn't just simply just reached out to my after marketing, I may not have known, you know, what if in 2 months from now in El Dorado County, because I don't really live there, what if all of a sudden I see it that they moved, and that happens too often. So it's talking to them and making sure that when they peek over that fence and they peek over the fence and they're wanting to maybe buy or sell, that you're the one they're looking at, because that's important. And so this is what Dan really preaches so hard. This is why you guys, I think we've got, Sarah, you put together a list. I think Tim, you were putting together your SOI list, I believe. Have you finished that? Have you given that to marketing and had them drop that into all the marketing emails?
I have, but
That was a long have.
I had to take it off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did
there's
you-
some issues. There's some issues with the emails that are going out.
Okay, so you don't care about the emails that are going. There's something just different, or the marketing emails that you're not happy with, or
Yeah, there's links. There's links that are dead, and then there's incorrect things that go on. And I just felt like I'm too new to have anything be not completely zippered tight.
okay, perfect. And that, so I turned that off for a while because the deal is that I was getting complaints because I was sending too many emails to my clients. And so because I had all my other systems that I was doing as well, but look into that, see if there's something, you know, that's not working that you want to tweak, then have them tweak that. But that is something where If you do see like an invite to, we in Nevada City, guys, you guys are all new, but Nevada City for like 26 years that they've had a chili cook-off. You know, did we do that last year? October? No, shouldn't have done that. Sure seems like we did, but we didn't do it. So you're gonna get like we have a chili cook-off that's in Nevada City parking lot at the office there, and so everybody brings chili and we have food. We bring hamburgers, we bring live music, and it's just kind of fun. So if you don't have them on your SOI list that's going through, and you get that email direct, you should at least be on it yourself, Sarah. Right? Are you on it? Can you see the emails coming? Okay. So
Yeah, and I send out like postcards and stuff. I just don't want the monthly emails going.
Perfect. And so if you guys have your own system, do something, but something has to be here. And that same group though, you can still give all that particular email to everyone, but you're not going to send, you know, right here. The funny part is that you have to kind of be careful, because once they actually buy the home, what do they become? Now they become a seller. So now I put them on the seller drip campaign. But it's funny because when they get the postcard in 30 days after, it says, hey, if you're thinking about selling, let me know. So you got to kind of like paste that. So we kind of had to work on that and say, okay, now we're not going to add them to the campaign for 3 or 4 months to the mark them in. Because if I send a mass blast out for sellers, now they're in there as listed as a seller. So you got to kind of be careful what you're sending them. And they kind of laugh and go, hey, Eric, we just bought the house yesterday. And you already sent me a postcard that says, if you're thinking seller, I just go, hey, you're on the seller list now. So, you know, have these systems in place. Just because you're on LinkedIn and Pinterest and everything doesn't mean you're going to get business. I would highly recommend, as I think we're going to go in this a little bit, that you're going to go to all of these and you're going to make sure your profiles are completely filled in, because without relationships, you know, you have no business. And this looks like a theater in COVID world, you know, because I've been in a couple theaters recently that no one's in. But, you know, so you want business because you need relationships. You got to share your popcorn, dude. All right, relationship approach. Goal is to develop mutual beneficial long-term relationships. And I kind of bugged a little bit that when you sell a home to somebody and they might get comment, well, wow, I guess we'll just see you later. Do we get to like see each other in the future, or is this it? I'm going, this is not it. So again, that was my bad for not going on and telling them, hey, by the way, this is what's going to happen next. Because when you close the escrow and you say, okay, by the way, your escrow officer is going to call you to come sign your documents. By the way, this is how you're going to get your money. By the way, this is what it is. But what do we do after? So I'll say, hey, Allie, just want to let you know, thank you so much for being such an amazing client. And I know this is kind of the sad part, because we've been talking to each other, Allie, for every single day for the last 45 days. And now, you know, I'm going to miss you. But I want you to know it's not the end, is because we have customer appreciation parties. You're going to get emails from me every once a month. And also, Allie, you're also going to be sharing all of your friends and family that are going to be coming up from the Bay Area. You know, like, yeah, please have them contact me. I'm not a big fan when I got some of my good clients that I just closed a house and they said, hey, our other friends just bought a house up here on blah, blah, blah Main Street in Grass Valley. Well, that's great, but you know, why didn't they use me? And I kind of made a comment, hey, I'm glad, you know, please, you know, that's so awesome for that. I'm sure they had their agent already in place before, or you would have mentioned that to me. And they immediately said, oh, absolutely. We totally told them that. Or I got this elderly couple that just literally, I've sold them 2 houses, and they said they'd send me an email after I just checked in with them. And they said, hey, just want to let you know, we bought 121 something Lakeshore North. We would have used you, but it was on an open house. And so we just used the agent that was doing the open house. So I'm not educating my client enough. We're like, okay, you know, you don't have to use an agent when you're just walking to an open house. That's not how that kind of works. So again, there was another, you know, $7,000-8,000 commission that I lost. And so I'm trying to concentrate on the positives, not the 5 for sure escrows I lost this year because of some things like that. So it's the developing that, letting them know this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen after, and then multiple touch nurturing is what we want to do. And so I take advantage of it. I don't know if you guys seen all these crazy pictures, but I take advantage of, like, when I have my customer appreciation party, I got a big banner. It says client appreciation party, you know, Eric Hatch, Century 21. This was my the old Foothill one. I think I got a new one. I think she changed it to Cornerstone, but now I like have it, you know, I had 30, 40 people that I bought tickets for. You know, this is I rather have spent the $600 or whatever it was on this. Now I go buy the big bucket of popcorn, and I bring my small little bags. And so I just buy the big, when you get a free refill, and I just go over there and I just scoop it in with my scooper, and then hand them a little bag. My wife actually doesn't hand them a little bag of popcorn. And so I let them kind of buy their own drinks and things. But it's something where I think this is you can tell, I think we saw Frozen, you hence all the girls in their Frozen dresses. So this was something kind of fun. And so here it was, and all these people walking in and seeing this picture, and like, wow, this is, and, seeing this, big group there. But I don't know, whatever it was, $600-700 to spend on that versus going out and doing a mass mail marketing of getting new business. This was great. I took some of my top people, and this is one of my lenders right here too. And we went and went cooking up there at that Grass Valley. What is that place called? The kitchen up there, that cooking in that kitchen up there. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, we went and did cooking together, which was kind of fun. There's a nice book, Return on Relationships by Ted Rubin, if you were interested in that, with Ted Rubin's book. ROI versus ROR. The return on investment is $1 in cents. I don't know, can you guys see that behind, or my picture? You guys can see that. It's probably just my camera's blocking it. But return on relationship is about people, connecting, about people connecting. So return on relationship is the ROR. So if anybody in a class ever says, what's an ROR when you're in some presentation, it's, return on relationship versus return on investment. So, you might have this return on investment of things like you're saying, Sarah, about, hey, I'm mailing out postcards. I'm kind of, keeping with that. But at the same time, what are you doing afterwards? You need to continue doing things after. So what is the best way to develop a relationship with a potential client? Pay them. I used to pay a friend in 5th grade, Blair. I used to, I wanted him to be my friend, so I'd give him milk money, like 5 cents, 10 cents. And we were in high school, and he's all, man, why did you give me all that money in 5th grade? I said, I wanted you to be my friend. And so, so sometimes you can be that way. But basically it's face-to-face, building that relationship, hanging out with them face-to-face. A little bit strange. The other day I went and showed a house in Grass Valley with a couple, and the wife, first time maskless, I guess. It's like, people look different with masks, and I'm sitting here struggling. And I'll give you a pro tip, and I think I shared this before, is if you ever walk up and say, hey, Sarah, it's good to see you, or I walk up and shake Tim's hand and say, hey, it's nice to finally meet you. And then Tim looks at me and says, dude, you showed me houses 3 more months ago. We've already met. So you got to be careful of that, because now that they took their masks off, and she kind of went, oh, it's good to it's good to meet you. And then he goes, oh, it's good to see you. Then he comes out of the car and goes, it's good to see you. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I've taken you guys out before, but they acted like they knew me like no other. I mean, they were like, oh, we're going to be buying a house soon, and this is what we're doing, and thank you so much. And that house on the lakeshore or something, we probably should have bought that a couple of years ago. If I'm thinking, I couldn't remember these people, but now in their face, when you just see them like this, and now all of a sudden I went, because my client the other day, we've been showing multiple houses, we're in escrow, and then he took his mask off, and I go, yeah, your mouth and your nose, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. Not that I was expecting anything, but it was weird. It was like strange, because I felt like I got to know them better now without a mask on, because I got to see their whole facial expression. So, meeting them face to face is obviously important. Where do they come from? Where do your relationships come from? You guys are going to start with family and friends. How many people are you guys already starting to, like, it's your family, your friends and people, but eventually, guess what's going to happen, guys? You're going to run out of family and friends. And so then basically you're going to have to entrust. How it really goes down is that your family and friends are going to trust you and say, Tim did a good job for me, so now I feel comfortable referring Tim to Aunt Lucy. In the very beginning, they might go, Tim's brand new. Do I refer them to Aunt Lucy yet? Or do I just let Aunt Lucy just, contact Tim if Tim wants to meet with Tim, whatever. So sometimes they kind of like just back down. They kind of are a little nervous of referring a brand new agent until they actually have a relationship with you and understand that. So, and that's what's important for you guys, to always bring in Jim and Eric and the team and Mimi and our group and people of that nature. So, you guys are going to go against, a listing of a big agent in a different company, and they're going to say, hey, why should I list with you? And so it was quite funny that my client shared this with me a couple months ago. We sold the $1.4 million. It was actually one of the largest homes that we sold in Nevada City, in Nevada County for a long time at that price point in that location. And so what was funny is that it was another agent from a different company. I won't mention her name. And so she says, well, who else are you interviewing? It's always fair, you guys, to ask and say, Sarah, I'm coming to list your house. So Sarah, so are you meeting with some other real estate agents? And you might go, yeah, I'm meeting with 2 or 3, or they might say, nope, you're the only one. And you're like, oh, great, this is good. So then you kind of know and understand. And so she says, so are you meeting with some other agents? And she said, oh yeah, we're meeting with Eric Hatch. And I guess apparently my client just totally freaked out and just, told me this, that she just all of a sudden went, oh, you're meeting with Eric Hatch? Oh, okay. Do you mind if I bring my broker by again now? So she was rebuilding and trying to go, I need to bring in reinforcements. And I went, okay, I guess I didn't realize I had that reputation in the county. So, but in some sense, I remember going the first, there's an agent down the street that was dominant 10, 15 years ago. And now she's a little older and she doesn't do a lot of real estate. But she was so dominant that for me to break into that, and when I had my little baby face, many years ago, and I just finally broke into that and beat her out on a listing. I was so excited. But because, you finally get to a point where they're going to choose you over some other agent. And I want to share with you, when you go into a listing presentation like that and say, hey, this other person sold so many listings, and said, I was glancing at that person. You should know these statistics. I was glancing at Eric, Eric's listings the other day. And yeah, he's a great agent, works in our office, great guy. But he's got like, 12 or 13 listings, and, and I've got like 0. And, I would be 100% completely committed to working with you. And I have all my money, all my resources, all my time is going to go into your listing. So you kind of use that against them a little bit about these bigger agents. And so, you can kind of go that route. All right. What's your goal, to build relationships is just get as many as you can. Just put as many people in that pipeline as you possibly can. The first on your list is to be on social media platforms. So are your guys are you branded? Do you have the same colors, the same looks, the same photo? How many people have a photo on your MLS right now? Anybody have you gone in to look at the MLS? Okay, so Tim, make sure, if you guys aren't know, or Allie, make sure you're using the same photo. Make sure you're using the same color. Make sure you're using the same, because you want to brand and start, so people find you on Facebook, they find you on YouTube. Everything looks kind of similar, similar to where you have a brand on that. Any questions on that?
I have like 2 or 3 that I use from the same photo shoot. I mean, as long as there's kind of some consistency, or do you really feel like it's important to really just pick one?
I think that you could probably have 2 or 3. It depends, like on my magazine that we send out. We actually have so yeah, I have like one that I just do on the back page right here, and I got one on the front page right here. So, but this is kind of a similar. So this one, it has a few little different, but I like the colors that we're actually choosing and stuff. But I would make sure that you have some kind of presence there, and you at least have a picture that looks professional. Could be the same color, same photo shoot. That would be great. But I know that people, YouTube, I saw some other guy the other day that I looked up a picture, and he had like, goofy kind of glasses. And so it was like, yeah, that was great, but is that the brand he wanted? Then you go look at something else that's different. So, going into your YouTube channel and your Twitter and your Yelp, and making sure. And so we will on January, right before January, in one of these classes, we actually will go on and probably have you guys go into your channels, and okay, guys, and we'll spend, it's still a quiet hour, but at least you're spending time to do it. But we'll get onto Facebook, or we'll get into your, it's basically going into making sure all of you're upgrading all your bios at the same time. Because there's sometimes where, I think I shared with you that my daughter, said, there was, like I said, Eric Hatch and his 3 kids, and my daughter was already like 14 or something. It says, do you think that am I one of your 3 kids? And so, I didn't, update that for like years. And so now every year I make sure I go back in and I change it and say, okay, this is where we're at. You did change now to 2 years experience or 3 years, and 4. Now I probably wouldn't put that in on you guys and say, I'm 6 months in now, or I'm 1 year. I'd probably leave the years of real estate out and tell you, until you can put different things in there. And so now when you're in your 20 years or 2 decades or over it, you're just hit your 10-year mark. And I'd probably put, over a decade of service. They don't know if it's 19 or 11 years. So, you can kind of utilize that, but making sure you go in and actually change, put your photos, make sure you have some kind of presence, because if you don't have a picture there, now you'll be shocked if you go to the MLS and you open up and you start looking at the agents. There's probably only like 1 in 15 agents have a picture or some type of profile. And I will tell you that I probably have, it's just a small group. It's about that spraying or praying kind of deal. And there's a small group of maybe 4 or 5 people that have found me on MetroList or NCAOR on finding me in my bio there. And so if I go through and I'm looking at a real estate agent, I'm cruising through and I'm looking and I see Tim and someone else, and Tim has a picture and Allie doesn't. I mean, a picture sells, it's 1,000 words, and I'll just go, okay, Tim's got a picture. So I'm just going to, I like Tim. He looks like a nice guy, and I'm going to go with it. I had somebody years ago, seriously, they looked, I said, well, how'd you find me? It says, I saw your face and your picture and you look like an honest man. Okay. So what if I had some weird, goofy picture or something? Wouldn't have gotten that deal. So you never know. Somebody might look at us and, I really think that I lost a listing the other day because they like to work with a woman. And it's really strange. If I was going to go buy real estate somewhere else, I'd probably want to work with a woman. So it's just kind of strange. I don't know why some people want to work with a man. Some people want to work with a woman. So, that could be just a flip of a coin. Some people may not matter. They just want going off the experience, but some people just, I had one referral that they said that they wanted to work with a male real estate agent. That was a little bit odd, but that they said, because that was getting a referral in. And then there's other ones that say, what, they just want to work with a female. And so then I said, no worries. And I just referred it to an agent in our office. So, if it's a single woman to a single woman, they probably might feel more comfortable with that. So, you just kind of go with it. So feel free that, to refer that out. So if you guys have that and then you hear that, or says, I'm feeling more comfortable maybe with a different agent or somebody different, this is, no worries. Cause if we're not a good match and you feel that way, I've got a great girl named Sarah Alley, and I'd love to refer you, and you're going to absolutely love them. Okay, great. That's, great. So, at least keep the business and the money keep coming into our company. All right. I want you guys to make sure you go into your phone, and I want you guys to actually go in and create a phone card. There are companies that you can buy these from, and you can buy like a little e-card or something, but at least go in and put together. And so I put my real estate agent that's saved in my phone. It's in my cell phone. So if I say, hey, Sarah, thanks for talking, I'm going to send you a real quick text with all my information. And so they probably already forgot my Eric Hatch is my name, right? But what if I just say my real estate agent, Eric Hatch? So I just, put that in there so that I can just text them that information, share my contact, so then they can actually see and have my contact in there immediately and say, can you please save that when you get it to save the contact? And sometimes I'll be there, used to be more in person. They'll say, okay, let me text you my information. Okay, there we go. And I look, okay, Allie, go ahead and just save me right now in your contact. Hit save right there. There we go. Hit save. There we go. And so I'm making sure that they're saving me, and if I'm sitting there in person. So how many times do we go back a zillion texts ago trying to find someone, and we forgot them. So I would highly recommend every time you have a buyer or seller, selling a home, I would put them in your phone. Sometimes I don't do it, and sometimes I get burned. I got an Alta Sierra person. They called me the other day, and their name was popping up on my phone. I'm all, boy, that name sounds really familiar. So now I thought to myself, I should probably put their name under their last name or under their comments, 121, Sun Forest Drive. That triggered it when she said, hey, do you remember who I am? I go, oh, that last name sounds familiar. And she goes, oh, yep, nope, I totally. And so it took me a little while. As you get older, your brain kind of freezes. But that probably didn't sound really great when she said, do you remember who I am? And so then all of a sudden, when I did, I started talking about her house and the deck and the cute kitchen and the upstairs and the new addition with the naughty pine and the master bedroom. So then all of a sudden, like, wow, you remember. So, so it just do some kind of trigger word on the phone and your contacts that you might remember who they are. All right, let's go into some tech I look so young. I look so young there. It's so cute. These are like pictures. These are videos. I have no idea why it's still on there, but Zillow allows you to do a little video intro of yourself. And so we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit today. So it allows you, so anytime somebody brings and hits me on Zillow, that video goes out and says, hey, this is Eric Hatch. Thank you for finding us on Zillow. So it's kind of a card that there's also a video. Actually, you know what? That wasn't the Zillow one, but this is just an idea here. That was something else. So I'll get back into that one in a minute, but this is a free giveaway. So we do like I used to do like Fun Day Mondays, do a little trivia, then I get people says, thanks so much for the Amazon card. Got it in the mail today. I appreciate your generosity. Da, da, da. So, and I've sold these people four homes, maybe. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 houses. But we've sold them and then bought them and then sold them. And so Facebook contests you can do, every time you see kind of crazy ugly bathroom or something, or just kind of say, hey guys, what do you guys think about this bathroom? Send me a new remodel project. There are different market snapshots and things that are free that you can actually send people and hook some people up on market snapshots. Here was the video, which is kind of crazy. I did create this video years ago, but you guys can hear that. Yeah.
Hello, this is
I look
Eric
so
Hatch with
young.
Century 21. Hey, I just want to say thanks so much
And so-
for reaching out to us on Zillow. Look forward to hearing and speaking to you soon.
And so here's the funny part. I can't go back in and change that video. It is so put into Zillow that Zillow can't even figure out where that video is anymore and how to get that video out. So, which is crazy. But Zillow, I did want to just share one thing. You guys should probably go look, but Zillow actually just came out with another camera app that actually can do some better 360 videos there. So, inside Zillow. So when you take a listing, you can actually go and just take pictures and walk around in a circle and just kind of stand still. And then it's kind of this like, it will keep you like level as you walk around. You'll see it's green and red. If it goes red, you got to stop and go back until it's green all the way around. It takes these still photos and then puts it all into a 360 video. So, and make sure you have that. So those, again, free tools that you don't have to go out and pay for a bunch of stuff. Ask for, referrals from business. We talked about that last week, that Sarah's got a great lender that she's working with right now, and she should ask that lender for any business. Helpful information. I don't know if you guys, there's Social Media Examiner, which is great. I don't know, we've subscribed to a couple social media companies that their calendars that we can schedule our social media. And so we can book that out and push it towards, I think this is actually puts it, different. Here's Hootsuite, Buffer. I don't use these two, but Hootsuite that used to be able to be a Century 21 connection, but they're not anymore. But have some kind of social calendar that you've got going on, social media calendar that you can just Google it. Which, do you remember the company we're using? Social media calendar. So you can look, there's our previous assistant put that together for us. And so it's just having those together, finding the trending stuff that's kind of going on, and you can actually post those different things on that. Have you guys been into C21 and found the unique property website? All right, so it's a listing tool. When you get a listing, let me know, but you should go in there and you can actually go to Golden Ruler. And when you go to Golden Ruler, your clients will get this email. And again, see, this was an old one. So this is one of my old photos. So again, that's when we do the whole bio stuff, we're going to go to all those heavy websites to Century 21, to Cornerstone, to everything, to just change photos. But this is what the views, they get to see how many views on Zillow, how many were on Trulia. So these are all the things that actually come through, and they can kind of actually see down here. You can't quite see it, but you got Rockland, 50% of the traffic, Bay Area, and shows you the cities that people are searching your house from. So it's kind of fun. So that's Golden Ruler that I would absolutely, and all you have to do is you literally go in, you put the person's name, first name, last name, and their email. And then I change a couple things, CC yes, so I want to see it come to me, and then boom, you just send it. And so every Tuesday or Monday? I think it's for the Golden Ruler. Yeah, I think it's Monday or Tuesday. You can actually choose on the very bottom down here. You can put monthly, you can put weekly, bi-weekly, whatever you want to put. So I always like to let people see that so they can kind of go through. And this gives a lot of different things of e-marketing and some other things that you can actually purchase through that as well. But then they can come in and see kind of statistics and stuff, which is kind of fun. And you can see, the big spike of all the house, their house being searched, and then it drops and goes up. So it's kind of fun. Again, these are ones that I've had in the past. Open Home Pro. So if you ever wanted to get in kind of an open house, when you start doing open houses, you can actually do an app. You can go into that house, even if it's not your listing. On Open Home Pro, I can go into a home, may not, and even if it is my listing, you have to do this when you get there anyway. But you just go around, you take 5 or 6 photos, front photo, back photo, kitchen, whatever you want to do. You hit go, and then it creates this kind of open house thing, and then you just have an iPad or your phone, and then when people walk in, you say, hey, the seller is requiring that everybody who's coming in to register. So you can do a piece of paper if you want to do a piece of paper, and then just have them write that down. Then you can send some information. But what's nice about here is once they actually register on my iPad and hit click, and they put their email address in there, this little thing right here pops up and just gets sent to them. So it has the 4 or 5 pictures that I took on the home. It has some contact information that they can reach back out to me. So now they at least have something solidified. So when they go see 4, 5, 6 open houses that day, they'll have something that just stands out, that's a little bit better, that they can remember which house that they went to, which is kind of nice. And this is kind of what it kind of has right here. I like there's an app called House that I really like. I don't know if you guys have played with that before. It's changed a little bit, but I like it where I can just put in red sink. I can put in remodeled bathroom. I can put in different kind of, I went through, is hilarious, about 6 doors down from my house, that I know that the agent who sold it ended up listing it, but I went there as a listing presentation as a courtesy. I love it when they just use you, and I say, oh, you need to do this, you need to put this flooring. Well, what is that? What does the laminate floor look like with, so I got at my house and I put it in and said, this is what you need to do on your flooring. This is what you need to do for your kitchen. This is what you needed. And I was showing them pictures on my iPad. So they remodeled their whole house, did everything exactly what I told them to, and then listed with somebody else. So, hey, I was a neighborly resource. So you've got, this is the set schedule where you can go in and set your schedule for your social media posts and stuff. And I don't know if you guys ever use Jing or Snagit off your screen, or Screen Snip, or any kind of screen, but I kind of like that. So you can actually take people's information and copy the screen if you're on some webinar or something of that nature, and then utilize that and put that in some of your posts and things. Make sure you guys have some kind of scanner. I was like, an iPhone Notes. My daughter the other day says that you can actually go to an iPhone, take a picture through Notes, and actually use it as a scanner. So it's not happened as much, but there was one time with this PDF Expert right in here somewhere. This one right here, I don't use this as much as I used to because there's more technology that's out there now, but I literally was able to, this is before really DocuSign and some things came out, but I was able to sit and have lunch with somebody and do a whole offer there, and through PDF Expert. And so it was just nice to be able to have that. But now I think that through DocuSign and stuff, it kind of does some similar things. Let's see. I wanted to share this one with you right here. Tom Ferry, has a new app called Illume, I guess. Is that how you would say that? I would highly recommend. I know we've been talking about the tracking your numbers and stuff on this, but what's really cool here is that you now can go on here, and it actually, too many apps. It actually says how you like today's date. You can actually go today's date, and you can actually put, how many conversations I had. So I can go right here. I said, okay, my conversations, I had 1 buyer conversation today. I had 2 seller conversations today. My appointments, how many appointments? I just scroll down. I said, okay, I had 1 appointment with a buyer today, and I had one with a seller today. And now it's going to track all this for you. And then you can see that there's July's calendar up on top. So, you can just go, today's the day, I hit submit. my hours of power, which hours of power would be like, how many hours of prospecting did you do? So, okay, it doesn't give you 15-minute increments, it just says, okay, there's one. So now what you can do is you can actually now track that, and you can actually kind of watch that and track that. So then you can actually put up okay, you can actually even put your transactions in here if you wish to do so as well. And even has a business plan in here too, with accountability, commitment, vision, mission, values, and your transactions. And so it'll tell you, you're sold. So I know you saw mine last week when it came into just putting it on a kind of just a regular spreadsheet. You can do that. I know that Tim likes to put spreadsheets together, but now this actually will break this open for you and say, how many referrals did you get, where they came from, your goals. And so you can kind of go with that. So it's a free one. Just go and register and just do an account. So Tom Ferry gives you that little tracking commitment there. So that was kind of fun. They've upgraded that one. Fiverr.com. Anybody use Fiverr.com? Okay, I've used it several times. So if you want to do a little bio, you want them to type something, you want them to do a little ad, or you want them to do little videos. I found this one guy years and years ago when I did all my 30 businesses in 30 days in Nevada City and Grass Valley. When I would just drop in some video clips. I kind of got into a rhythm with him. He put my intro in there. He put my exit, and he just put them together. I think he did them for like $10 is what he did. And I just threw them the raw material, then he put them together. So you could go in there and browse whatever project that you want to do, and they'll actually compete and bid for your, generally most of the things are $5 that you can just go and have them do. So if you ever want them to put something together there for you, go ahead and do that. Referral by flowers. I would recommend, I went to a flower, that one off of Brunswick, wherever that one's next to that restaurant. And I went there and I just said, okay, here's about 10 of my business cards. And I want to, when I call you up, I want you to give me about a $50 kind of bouquet with the balloon and just put congratulations on it. This is something that's worked really well. If you guys have a seller or a buyer that works locally in some kind of large office that's going to have 10, 15, 20 different employees, as flowers come walking by and they put them on Sarah's desk and it says, congratulations. How many people are going to ask Sarah, what on earth is that all about? Like almost everybody in the office is going to say, hey, Sarah, you know what was that? Oh, these are from my real estate agent. And immediately they're going to think, wow, my agent didn't give me something like that. And so what I do, this is kind of fun, is that you actually let the people know. It's like you're helping them give you referrals. So when I close an escrow, I'm going to say, Tim, hey, just keep in mind that I know you're going to have all these people that are going to be coming and wanting to move here. You've been talking about it in the last 30 days. Tim's been talking about to all his friends, all his coworkers, that he is buying a house, and he's excited. He's going to talk about the frustrations about what's going on. He's going to talk about inspections with his co-partner that's sitting right next to him on his desk. He's going to talk about, we're about to fund, we're about to close. This is so exciting. So what's happening during that 30 days? You need to provide a business card to Tim. And I'm going to go, Tim, I'm going to give you 3 business cards, because when you're at work, all these people you're going to be talking to about that, because that's just what it is. I mean, when you girls, I don't know if you have kids, but Sarah, you got a daughter. It's like when you guys are pregnant, it's like, what'd you guys talk about when you're pregnant? Talking about babies all the time. And so you guys will just chat. And so, oh, there's Allie. Hello, Allie. You have kids, Allie? Oh, there's the kids. Oh, look, cute. So it's like, what do you talk about? You talk about that. Or if you're going to go buy a car, guess what? All the cars. Or am I go buy a stroller? All of a sudden I look around and go, wow, all these strollers, they all this, your subconscious mind picks that up. So I'm going to tell Tim, when you are sitting there at work, and I'm going to give you a couple business cards, I'm going to help you. Here they are. So when you can just say, you know what, here's my real estate card, or my real estate agent's card, give them a call, because they're going to want to be in that same kind of position, and you never know. So then what you do on the congratulations, you give them the note. The note's already filled out. It says, here's another one of my business cards, because I'm sure that somebody's going to come up and ask you who gave you the flowers. Please hand this business card to them. So now I'm just helping them out, just simply helping them out. Just to, if somebody walks up and goes, wow, I'm kind of looking for a home, I want flowers too. Make sure though that if that came from that person, then Tim, we gave those to Sarah, and make sure that you return the favor and give some flowers and a balloon back again, or they'll like, wait, I bought a house and he never gave me flowers. All right. So that's kind of a fun little thing. What time? Okay, we have a few minutes. Video, how many have been, how many times, guys, if I go take a picture, when somebody, you're in a group of people and a friends, and they go, okay, picture time. Just sometimes you go, wow, do I look okay to take a picture? But now it's so easy that we're snapping photos with no makeup, with makeup, wet hair, dry hair, doesn't really matter. That's just what we're doing. We're just so used to taking all these pictures. And so when you used to, can you remember back when somebody would go, hey, I want to put let me record you right now, Allie, go ahead and start talking. It's like, well, no, I don't it's a recording thing, just kind of freaks out. And so we need to get kind of familiar with recording yourself. Now, if you want to sit there, I would highly recommend you just practice, grab your camera, float it over, turn it over, go, hey, this is Sarah, and find your good side and just start talking. And then you'll get used to it. Because at 4th of July, I did 3 videos in front of like 35 people. And I say, hey, Shannon, record this really quick. And I'm doing shave ice and I wanted to do this. And I'm like, hey guys, blah, blah, blah. And I literally have 15 people that were right around me, just watching me right there, recording myself with Shannon, just going, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going, yeah, this is what we do. You put this in right here. Great, guys. We'll see you later. So it was, and people like, wow, he's just so natural. But that took me years to get to that point where you would feel like, oh, somebody's watching me. I'm recording me out here in downtown Grass Valley. But you just kind of keep going. And so I brought in people at the Cornish Christmas or one of those things up there. I brought them in. They go, hey, we want to be on. You want to be on? Come on, we're live right now. And they're all coming in. So what do you like about the, Nevada City? And then I'm sharing that. So now I just randomly picked a stranger off the street. And then I'm just having a little interview. Oh, I love this. And then I've come back and, to Nevada City. I love it here, blah, blah. So now I put that out there. How great is that when somebody catches that this person just says how much she loves it versus me telling it. So just be natural and recording yourself. What did that say? Have you ever shot a bad video? And I'll tell you, my favorite, we have this bloopers video that I should probably repost that people laugh, and my friends would go, oh, so you aren't perfect. Oh, and so, so there's kind of these comments that they make because, we just laugh, we have fun. But, videos, just they're increasing. 70% of marketers report that video converts higher. The click rates are 200 to 300, you're increasing your opportunity to be talking to people. 90%, 92% of mobile video viewers share video with each other. And so, Facebook now has Facebook, videos, Twitter's got clips. I mean, they're all going, there's, TikTok is not on this one, but there's just so much that are going with video. So I use BombBomb. You can use Loom, Loom, which we talked about that before, but just kind of some small videos that you guys can start creating, do some YouTube videos, putting them on. What was that app? Yeah, there was like this really cool app. Stand by everyone. I was on, TikTok has so much good stuff. This guy right here automatically turns blogs to YouTube videos. All right, can you tell me what that is? Please, 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 please. And it's called, and I'm going to go check this out with this, but it's Lumen, Lumen 5, lumen5.com. And so it turns your blogs into videos. And so I need to go play with that. So that's on my list. So those are things that you can find, these really cool new technologies that you can maybe now kind of take clips and different things. So if I do one thing on YouTube or I do something on Instagram, I'm taking that material and I'm rebranding it, retaking snippets out of it and putting it in different locations and different social media platforms. So you can repurpose and reuse a lot of these bigger pieces. Face-to-face methods of distribution, email, text, social, so, texting's still really good. People open my texts way more than they open my emails, it seems like. But when you have these, I don't have a copy, but of an email that I did the other day, but I just did, I use, if I guys ever showed you the word big, it's like you can it's a email called Big, or an app called Big, sorry. So it all it basically does is you can just type words. It says new escrow. So I just type words. So I'll take these photos and I'll just go like this or something like that on my screensaver for my BombBomb or something. So I'd say, hey, congratulations, we got it accepted or something. So if I'm like this new escrow, or if I put, hey, look at this, and I think it's just people will open those videos way more. they tend to do that versus me just going, please open my video, you know, so it's like you're just with your face. So get a little creative on that. In simple ways, you know, you can do Skype, you can do FaceTime, introduce. Now I want to talk to you a little bit briefly here. And then what do we got? 1 minute. Video introductions. I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys have a video introduction of yourself? You have that, Sarah? So it's like, hey, this is who I am. You guys can go Google video introductions, and I won't play these right now for time, but you can do a small little video. You could do it, you know, just any kind of video, recording yourself, putting your name on the screen. You can do word swag. You can put different, you know, your logo, your whatever. Just say, this is who I am. I service these areas. If you need me, you know, I'm happy to be here. And so, you know, you could go as creative as a couple of these people actually have done some really, like this guy, he did one on an Animoto. So he brought in, like, you can on Animoto, you can only have like these 10-second video clips with some pictures. And so he kind of took some areas and some street signs of his, you know, the town that he was at. So it's really kind of nice. So just go click and go check them out. But I would highly recommend having some kind of intro video about you. And so now I'll take a snippet of this. Hey, this is Eric Catch with Century 21, 26 years of real estate experience in Nevada, Placer County. You know, happy to help. And then I add those little intro videos to the front of some other longer videos. So then you can, you know, repurpose those too. You know, then there's different things you can do for stabilizing your camera. But a lot of these phones, you guys now have some amazing things. But Glide, Animoto, Skype, you know, Bomb. So anyway, that is the class. We got that right on time. So what questions, any questions you guys have on regards to just utilizing technology and building relationships? So questions?
No, that was a lot of great information.
Yeah, it was a lot of information. Sorry, we crammed that hour and 10-minute presentation in like 45 minutes.
Well, that's why these are recorded, right?
They are recorded. So yes, I'm going to end that recording here.